Good morning, you guys. Today we got some work ahead of us. So now that Eric's car is running tip-top cherry and with a little more power, we want to get that transmission fixed so he can make a clean pass when we go to track next weekend. And today I am going to be installing his GSR transmission. Craigslist find, so hopefully the transmission goes into gear as the last owner said. And try to knock this out as fast as I can while we still have daylight, because it is about 9 o'clock right now. I'm gonna eat my breakfast that he bought me, and then I'm gonna move my CRX out and we'll move his up and start tearing it apart. Engine is still hot because he left like 5 minutes ago. He got here like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna start taking all the suspension and everything out of it, the axles and all that, drain the fluid. And today's actually the 1 year that my grandma passed away, so my family and I are going to be headed to the cemetery to pay her a visit, and then we'll get back to continue tearing that transmission out of the car. And as you guys saw on the dyno video, him and Carrie raced, and it was a pretty close one. So Carrie said, hey, I need that transmission fixed. So that's Carrie's transmission, and once I am done with his car today, Carrie's coming in tomorrow. I'm gonna give you guys another look at the E85 fuel filter setup. This is a JDM Sport fiberglass or metal internal, but it sure is not a paper filtered filter. So we have at the bottom there a tube fitting to AN6. This is a compression style 5/16, and then 6 feeding into the filter, banjo type from the filter to the fuel rail -6, and then again the fitting to convert the stock fuel rail to a -6. No leaks, and very simple setup. I believe 227, I would say 228 with all the decimals, and all it has is manifold 68, 3-inch intake on the dyno, tri-wise, not the big tubes, valve train, stock port, type B cams, and stock B20 block with RS machine type R pistons, E85. Going to be ripping out that transmission. I'm not going to show you guys everything. Wheels are going to come off, cars on jack stand, and then I'm taking off the half shaft from the transmission and the ball joint so we can just kick it out and not completely remove the axle. This one we're going to completely remove the axle. We're going to knock off the shift linkage, and then we are going to drain the fluid beforehand for the most part, and then we're going to remove the T-bracket, pretty much all the bolt attaching to the transmission to the motor, tilt it on its side a little bit, loosen up that motor mount so we're not binding the bushing, and then wiggle wiggle pickle with diesel. Check out this fly right here. I just cleared it over his ass because it adds character. It's not my fault he decided to die. I hear the bird like way out in the sky over there. But where? Dude, where the hell did my car go? I literally just parked it here. Dude, I just fucking parked my car here. So I spent an hour on the damn dryer because it was making a crazy ass squeaking noise, and I fixed it and then it came back. So now later I'm gonna pull the damn shit out and check the bearing or the wheel in the back that tensions the belt. But I spent about an hour plus phone time. I removed the lower ball joint and the fork half shaft off the long block, and the axle, knuckle, and everything is pulled out this way. It's cleared from the transmission, drained oil, shift linkage is off, and this side the axle is off, as well as the forks and stuff. Starter, all the wiring, ground, it's all taken out. T-bracket bolts underneath, it's all taken off as well while I was under there. All I gotta do is take off the one in the rear mount, the 117 on the top here, and pretty much the 17s on the front motor mount. Transmission ready to come out. But right now I'm gonna head to the cemetery, pay my grandma a visit, and I will be back to continue this.
Water in the car.
No, it's all good. Give her the good stuff.
What?
Yeah, bro. Nah, we give her the good stuff. You should got some Hennessy or something. That van you guys see I was mobbing to the dyno, that's my uncle's van. Should've threw some Henny in there.
What kind of flowers are those?
Uncle love Henny. No, he loves Heineken.
Cheese. What? Oh, you want to chop it?
I did.
Then aren't they already dead if you do that?
Purple like my V-stack.
I didn't do this right.
Oh, come on, buddy. Wake up. Who got super glue?
Wake up.
I need some super glue. Oh man, look at this one broken too, man. Nah, we need like some toothpick. You got a toothpick? I'll be back soon. 23rd, Uncle. I removed the transmission like an hour ago. Pretty simple from where I left off. All of the 17mm bolt T-bracket to rear motor mount, and tilted the engine with one jack underneath, so it's not like all the weight on that motor mount. And then I got the second jack to go under the tranny, and then I removed the motor mounts, wiggled the tranny off to rest on the jack, and then I let it go down, slid it out. This is the original transmission. It has like a nasty second, third gear grind or something like that, and he got this one for a good deal. GSR and the clutch, the new one right here fits. All I gotta do is change out that throwout bearing and probably the arm too, because it's rusted. But this came from a well-known person, so hopefully this transmission is good. But let me show you guys this clutch kit right here that came off the car. I have no idea what this is. Ideally you would think black is competition clutches, but there's like no sticker whatsoever on here, and same goes for the clutch itself. So no idea what clutch this is, but it is in fairly good condition. It has a lot of meat left on it. But this is the deal with sprung clutches and why I don't run them. I don't know if you can see that right there. What is this? I don't know if you guys can see that crack right there. And then the front side, this literally separated. Same goes with this one. This one's separated, and that one. Once this right here let go inside your transmission, like housing, bell housing area with the pressure plate and all that, this is going to get completely destroyed. Been there, done that. I've always ran a rigid unsprung disc to avoid that issue. And given that this is XTD, I've ran it before, and my cousin ran this on his booster car. It held up just fine. Fairly cheap, will do the job. It's an all-motor car anyways, so we're not too worried about wearing out or slipping or whatever the case is. But this over sprung disc any day, unless you guys want that street feel, you want sprung disc, go with Action Clutch, because Action Clutch has a plate that covers the spring in case of failure. It's not gonna bust or, you know, like pop out like this one. Instead, it'll still retain in that cover. I have Action Clutch in this one, stage 3 6-puck, and I chose that because this was a daily at one point and I wanted that street feel but still an aggressive disc. So Action Clutch in this car. Now I'm gonna get installing on the pilot bearing, throwout bearing. I'm gonna get the clutch put in once the flywheel is thrown back on, and then I'm gonna prep the tranny a little bit. It didn't have a speed sensor on it, so I got a can of brake cleaner and I'm gonna pretty much open the drain and dunk a whole bunch of brake cleaner there and drain whatever liquid is inside in case it got mixed with water. Double check all the bolts and everything to make sure the bolts are all nicely threaded. If any need to be time inserted, I have to do it outside of the car before it goes back in. And then once we squared it there, we'll put it back in. So I just returned back from driving the car the second time. Got everything all buttoned up, the axles and shift linkage and all the good stuff underneath the car, on top of the car. Other than the intake, because I'm still gonna have to properly rewire his TPS sensor and shit. But the reason why I said second time around was because the first time I drove it, the car had a weird shift. Like I kind of almost thought that the transmission was messed up. And then as I made it around the block, I wasn't moving anymore. No gears would make the car move forward, and I was like, fuck, the gearbox is jacked up, whatever. And I stopped the car around the block and noticed that the axle popped out. So I might have not put it in all the way, or it popped out for whatever reason. Never had an issue before with that one, so I highly doubt it's the axle. But it popped out, and not an LSD, so we had to push it around the block to get back here. Jacked it up, popped it right back in, and made sure that it was snugged in there. I know I'm doing a lot of talking instead of showing you guys me driving it around the block. I drove around the block, feels good. Transmission shifted. Now that the axle's all the way in, I think because it was partially out is the reason why I couldn't get into gear. But I did a nasty first and second gear right here in front of my house, and it's pretty damn smooth. Whew, god damn. That red intake gotta go. So, right now, I am going to be putting his wheels on for him to, you know, take them home because they've been drying in the garage for a couple of days now. And you don't smell the paint. That means they're dry. But, several days drying out. And I'm gonna be putting them on his car because I told him about the center that, you know, once you put the lug nuts on, it could twist the paint, who knows. But because it's not powder coat, so it's not as durable, but it's good enough. Just got to be very careful. I'm not gonna be using my impact, so I'm gonna install the fronts, then the rears. If he doesn't come here in time, I might just try to take it to like a well-lit area and get some photos, who knows. But they are looking so good. So I didn't get to take the car out to go get a better shot with the car on the wheels because I heard consecutively 4 cop sirens, one after another, and yeah, don't want to risk somebody else's car at this time of night, and we'll definitely grab a daytime photo or maybe a rolling shot sometimes this week or next week when we're going to track, so you guys can see how the blue flows with the VSM and the blue Ascent on the car. But yeah, job took a tad bit longer today, but we're in no rush, and car transmission feels good. I smashed through it, and shifts like butter. I don't know the comparison between the old transmission, so he's gonna have to drive and figure it out. So I fixed his wiring today as well. A few of the hard lines and random brackets that were just hanging out doing nothing. Cleaned the engine bay up a little bit. Didn't get around to doing the intake pipe because I'm probably gonna have him buy another headlight so we can modify the V-stack coming out the headlight, but not like mine. I'm gonna have his flushed up against the headlight, and instead of the dual bend, it's gonna be a single bend straight out, so it'll be a direct airflow. We'll do that another day. Other than that, I mean, this is the first time I drove this car, so it feels pretty solid, and it does feel like 228 horsepower. But I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight, guys. I am cold for some reason. I had a sweater on all day, and then once it got even colder later into the night, I do not know what happened to my sweater. But I am cold. I'm gonna shut the garage. I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you guys think the blue on the silver looks really good, because I think it does. And if you guys want to see this car and my car go down the track a week from now, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's gonna be totally awesome. And one last thing, thank you guys for helping me reach 17,000. We are very close to hitting that 20K mark before we boost the H22. I couldn't have done this without you guys. You guys motivate me so much by helping me grow the channel, by giving me feedbacks in the comments, and show me mad love all around the world. I can't thank you guys enough. Maybe I'll do something else at 20K along with the turboing of the H22. Who knows? We will see. I truly want to give back some way, somehow, and I have an idea in mind, but we'll reveal that when we get there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Another transmission job. I'll see you guys in another transmission job tomorrow. Peace.